Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle.
We're
OlderNDumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew, be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So dipshits, mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.
Women with all their problems. Am I right, brother?
Okay, we're going to restart.
No. They should know that. Lisa should know that she's weak.
Lisa.
Because she is a woman.
Because she is a woman.
Lacks the warrior spirit.
You think Lisa would have been able to survive in the Wasteland?
Yes. She fucking beat Cars. Cars had to cheat to win.
I mean, that's what the Wasteland's all about, though, is cheating.
It's true.
So would Lisa actually been able to survive?
Yeah, because remember when like the regular badass could kill anybody and the whole Wasteland vampire was like, I'm going to kill you because you're a woman. She was like, watch this, JoJo.
Dead.
Didn't even fucking move and cut him in half.
All right. Lisa could survive. You win.
Let me open this can of Nuka-Cola.
Yeah.
Diet.
Is there a diet Nuka-Cola?
No. The Fallout universe is too much universe of excess to ever have a diet product.
And what was Nuka-Cola Quantum?
It was the regular blend with it was
their energy drink.
It was Nuka-Cola Clear, and then they put radiation in it.
Oh, that makes sense. So for this episode, do we just pre-record that? Oh, we do that over the little intro thing.
The slideshow, yeah. Instead of the quotes, it does that, and then we cold open.
Yeah, we just go straight into it instead of it being like, "Welcome to another episode of Older and Dumber."
Except now everybody's going to know that we did that because May's going to listen to this and be like, "Okay, what do I need to cut out? Not that part. Got it."
Wait, what?
Because she's going to take the run up. She's going to leave in all this talk about us doing the scripted thing.
And then it does it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's funny anymore. I don't know if that's a good bit.
Hello, Wanderer. Why don't you sit down and share a story by the fire? Me? I'm a scribe from the Brotherhood of Steel. Don't worry. I'm more interested in hearing your tale than that old laser pistol you're carrying. I had a mentor that taught me that preserving stories is just as important as preserving technology. What do you have there? Oh, an old holotape. This one's a log from OlderNDumber. Who were they? A group of entertainers. They did a sort of radio production the old world called a podcast. They were just three dumb friends trying to make it in this wasteland we call Earth.
Welcome to the post-apocalyptic world of the Older and Dumber podcast set in the Wasteland.
Whoa.
Yeah. Welcome, dipshits, to a whole nother reality. All right, what's up?
Only 2 people survived. Only 2 of us got selected to go into the vault.
Yeah, just the 2 of us. See how we're wearing our Vault Boy blue and blue
vault suits.
Yeah.
May went to a control vault and they cummed her up.
Yeah, but she's still around. We're able to talk to her through terminals. So
we locked Carter outside the door.
Yeah, we'll find out what happened to him in 100 years.
We listened to him scratch on the door and die from radiation poisoning.
Yeah, it was
funny.
Get a picture. Welcome to a super Fallout episode, guys.
We cut May's brain out and we put it in a robot body.
Oh my God. I wonder if she'd love that.
Probably.
She would like that. She'd be like, oh my God, I don't have to worry about this weird body that cost me so much money.
Mm-hmm. All I need is med gel.
Yeah, med gel and some oil. Just got to keep the old gears lubed up.
You're allowed to
Wasteland.
do that in the first minute of the video.
You're allowed to do that in the Wasteland.
Yeah, who's gonna stop you?
Yeah.
Brotherhood of Steel in their bunker
Come on.
with their flashlights.
Psh,
Idiots.
idiots. All right, well, I think how we should start this episode is Joey, you're the much bigger Fallout fan than any of us. How about you? I think we should start by explaining what Fallout is. What is the world? What give us that history. For those of you who know what Fallout is, this will just be fun to listen to. For those of you who don't know what Fallout is, this will be fun to listen to.
Long ago, in the before times,
In another world.
when I was just a wee lad,
Oh, we went that far back.
a young blood, Black Isle Studios made a little game for Electronic Arts
Dude, it was EA to start with?
called Wasteland.
Oh.
Uh,
I remember Wasteland. They're on 3 now.
mhm.
Uh-huh.
The first one came out in 1987.
Okay.
Yeah. There was plans for a Wasteland 2, but eBay.
eBay. Oh, eBay bought the
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Okay.
Put the kibosh to it with a lot of corporate bureaucracy, even back in those days.
Oh.
There was a war over the rights. Black Isle couldn't get it back. But then, give it a few years, they release a spiritual successor to Wasteland with many of the themes that they were going to put into Wasteland 2 called Fallout.
Whoa.
A retro-futuristic game set in a post-apocalyptic America, where you played a vault dweller, one of the people selected to live underground during the nuclear war, to be one of the people to rebuild society afterwards. Only your vault is in trouble. It needs a water chip, so it's tasked on you to go out and find one. You head out into the wasteland. You discover a conspiracy by someone called the Master, who's building an army of super mutants to take everything over. You report this back to your overseer. He's like, I don't like that. You better do something about it.
Is that after you get the water chip?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It extends. You've only got 80 days to get the water chip.
And you can lose, right?
Yeah,
if you don't
can-
if you don't do it, you
yeah,
lose.
everyone
You gotta
just
restart.
dies. You got to
Yeah.
restart.
Yeah.
It's very roguelike.
Yeah.
Um,
They wouldn't dare do that now.
so you do it. You conquer. Yeah, God Howard says that's not good at game design. You do it. You conquer this. Beat the Master. Get back to the vault. Overseer's like, oh, brother, good job,
Good job, brother.
but you can't come back here because you'll destroy us.
What?
All the youth in the vault's going to be like, oh, I want to be like you. I want to go out in the wasteland and be a hero, and that's just going to end our society. So you need to get out of here. Go on, get.
I actually didn't know that that's how it ended.
Yeah.
So what? They're just like, oh, they died out there because it's dangerous.
Yep.
That's what the overseer tells everybody.
Yeah, unless you have the bloody mess perk, and then you're like, Kah!
And then you just
It
go into the
explodes,
vault?
and then you just leave.
Who explodes?
The overseer.
There's not more to it. Like you go in and
No, you blast him and you walk away anyway. You're like, there, now you got what
you
you
don't
want.
fucking tell me what to do. Bah!
Yeah, I defeated the Master, bitch.
You think I'm fucking scared of you? I've killed 8 super mutants just walking here.
So then we get to Fallout 2. A lot of Fallout fans say Fallout 2 is the best Fallout.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played it yet, so I actually can't say anything. So
You play the Chosen One, who's a descendant of the Vault Dweller.
the that's another thing. All the Fallouts, your main character is called something.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is called the Vault Dweller.
Mm-hmm.
Second one's called the Chosen One. Okay.
You play as a Chosen One. Your village of Arroyo, which the Vault Dweller founded, is dying, and it's up to you to find a GEC, which in Fallout lore is an acronym for the Garden of Eden Creation Kit, which you can set up and spawn a vibrant oasis for you to rebuild society with. So your mission is to find the Gek. Only turns out there's a group of the U.S. government that's been in hiding on an oil rig offshore called the Enclave.
Is that when they were introduced? Was the second one?
Yes.
They weren't in the first one at all? Was the Brotherhood in the first
Brotherhood
one?
was in the first one.
But there was no Enclave. Okay.
The Enclave wants to come back and take over, reestablish the government, but they also love genocide.
Okay.
So they see everybody who's not a part of their inbred politician, rich people society as mutated freaks, and they want to get FEV, create a version of that they can drop that will kill anybody that's been mutated.
What is FEV?
The forced evolutionary virus, which was developed in-game by a company called Westtech.
That was created before Fallout 1, right? This is a lore that was like, because there's super mutants in the first one.
Yeah, FEV is established.
Okay,
Yeah, because that's what the master's dipping people in, and what he fell in to become the mutated hideous
Weird
monster
thing.
that he is.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Enclave wants to get this virus, mass produce it.
Oh, or mass produced. Okay.
To use to basically kill everybody that's has any type of mutation, which will basically be anybody in the Wasteland that's not a vault dweller.
Okay.
So they're going and they're taking populations from like vaults that haven't opened back to the oil rig, and they're like experimenting on them to test it.
Okay.
Long story short, Chosen One finds out. He and his group of companions go to the oil rig.
Okay.
Save the day.
That's all Fallout 2?
I mean,
you go to find the Gek,
it starts
but
off,
it
you're
turns
going
into
to
that.
find the Gek, and then it turns into this overarching adventure. They're
you
both
find the
very
Gek?
big. Yeah.
Okay.
You wind up saving your village.
Cool.
If you play your cards right. It's Fallout, so there's like a million different
Yeah.
endings. But yeah, both of the first two Fallouts are very big. Like they take place over entire areas of the West Coast. The world maps are huge. But
Well, in those games too, you're like,
yeah, you travel across a world map to like an isometric cell.
right. So it's like when you're walking, it's like,
It's a gridded
but
world
that's
map.
like 10 miles.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah.
It's
they're
very
able to-
Indiana Jones map where you go Sadie Shands and then it opens up and you're in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But Fallout really didn't explode into the mainstream until Bethesda got it and released Fallout 3. Fallout 3, I had played Fallout 1, but I had not like put hours into it. I had gotten to play it, but not really invest in it. So Fallout 3 was also like my first Fallout. But that takes Fallout from the West Coast to the East Coast, sets things in the capital Wasteland, so around Washington, D.C. You play the Lone Wanderer,
Yeah.
the son of a man that you find out is working to bring fresh water to all the people in the capital Wasteland.
Bringing it back to Fallout 1, but on a larger scale. Themes, right?
Yeah.
His name's James, by the way.
Voiced by
Your
Liam
dad's-
Neeson.
Oh my god, I hadn't looked that up yet. Holy shit, I did not realize that Liam Neeson is James. That's fucking wild. Dude, when I watched Ponyo and I was like, Liam Neeson? I was like, what the fuck are you in this movie? And then I heard Betty White and I was like, what's going on? But anyway, sorry, I digress.
Yeah. So that was the first time Fallout was in 3D.
Yep.
It went from like an isometric 2D adventure to a 3D. Bethesda did a pretty good job of translating it. You get your first. So the Brotherhood exists in Fallout 1 and 2, but they're an isolated group that's concerned with preserving and protecting pre-war technology.
Yep.
The big way that Fallout 3 went away from those is they made the Brotherhood very much like a peacekeeping force.
Yeah.
That was there to try to help the people of the capital Wasteland.
Yeah.
The elder for that group, Elder Lyons.
Lyons was always It's weird to say the good one, right? Yeah. Because there was 2 sects of the Brotherhood of Steel, right? Well, sorry, not 2 sects. There was
3.
2. I guess I thought it was like I thought the Brotherhood of Steel formed, but at one point there was disagreement in how things should be getting done. Lions took a bunch of Brotherhoods east, and then Maximus took them west or something.
No, he got sent east on the mission to get to the capital Wasteland to recover technology.
My bad.
But then that group did split in DC, and you got the Brotherhood Outcasts, who were Brotherhood who thought Lions was not following the edict of the Brotherhood.
That's what it was. Okay. Sorry, continue about Fallout 3.
But Enclave shows up again.
Why not?
They have an AI president, John Henry Eden, voiced by Malcolm McDowell. Yeah.
Sure.
Pretty sure that's... May put it on the screen.
It's like Joey was completely wrong. It was Liam Neeson.
Well, Liam Neeson is James for sure.
Neeson is
Malcolm
everyone.
McDowell, I think, is John Henry Eden, who's basically become a sentient AI who's based his entire personality off the actions of every U.S. president that's ever existed.
Okay.
Who you convince to unalive themselves in the course of one speech check.
Cool. They're not the main villain, though.
The Enclave?
No, they are the main villain in Fallout 3. Well, because there isn't a main villain. This is the one I know the most about. Because this is the one Anyway.
There's the super mutants.
Well, because the whole thing about Fallout 3 is you grow up in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad left the vault at some point. And you're like, where'd my daddy go?
your best childhood friend Amada's like, oh my God, you got to get out of here. Everybody's gone crazy because your dad left the vault.
Yes, that's what, yeah. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll go. And
I have this BB gun. Here, Butch, save your mom.
Yeah. That was a big fart. The BB gun save your mom. Oh, shit.
Tunnel snakes rule.
Total snakes. Yeah, you leave the vault and you're like, I gotta go find my dad. And you go on this journey of retracing his steps. And then it eventually, it's what leads you to the Brotherhood.
Yep.
Because he's working with the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
But then the Brotherhood is like, we have a bigger problem at stake than your water. It's the Enclave.
Well, no, they're about to restart it. That's what triggers the second act. Like, you're in there helping your dad, like, work on it, and the Enclave shows up and is, like, canned it over.
Right. Yeah. And then that causes, then you're like, oh,
and
shit,
guess what?
Here's Act 2.
The Enclave wants to put FEV in the water and genocide the Wasteland.
Wow! Who knew? So yeah, that's what it is. And then, okay, yeah. And then there's the big war.
Yep.
Can you bypass that war by going in straight to the Enclave or something? Or does that war happen no matter what?
It happens.
Okay.
Because
Liberty Prime.
you destroy Raven Rock. You convince JHE to self-destruct. You destroy Raven Rock. And then Lions is like, all right, let's go clean them out. Liberty Prime.
Liberty Prime. If you don't know who Liberty Prime
He's
is,
a 40-foot tall robot that hates communism.
put him on the screen, man. Do a voice line. Oh, man. So that's Fallout 3.
Yep. And then we go to another one of the fans' choice for best Fallouts, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So after the success of Fallout 3, Bethesda outsourced the license to Obsidian, who was made up of Black Isle Studios, who worked on Fallout 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, here you go, you've got 18 months, put a Fallout game together. And they put out New Vegas, which puts you in the role of a courier.
Mm-hmm. You're the courier, right?
You are the courier.
Yeah.
You're shot in the head, buried in a shallow grave.
Yeah, yep.
Dug up by a robot cowboy named Victor.
The NPCs in New Vegas were pretty great, if I'm going to be honest. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Shot in the head by Benny, one of the guys that works at one of the casinos on the strip. Benny, voiced by Matthew Perry.
Oh, I did not know that.
True.
True story. Keep going.
So you walk out in the wasteland, you find out pretty quickly that you have a great tutorial actually for New Vegas where you are in the town that you're dug up in, Good Springs. You find out that there is a caravaneer who is hiding in a gas station in town from a group called the Powder Gangers that have escaped from a prison that's nearby.
The new tunnel snakes.
And you get to make a choice right there of how you're going to play the game. It's designed so that you are able to interact and speak with both groups. You find out perspectives from both groups. You don't just like start a fight. You have to have like skill checks. You can get the town to back you. You can get other people from that group to back you. There's just so much into it. And like, there's some like non-marked quest things that you can do if you're like thinking outside the box, that impact the fight. And it's just a really good, like, way to set up the rest of the world. 'Cause you'll find out that there's all of these different factions. You get reputation with the factions. So Fallout 3 had a karma system, which was kind of easy to break because you could just go through everything and steal everything, have bad karma, and then do one good deed and have your karma flip. If you wanted to switch sides. New Vegas had a reputation system, so you could build reputation with different groups as you went. And basically the story for New Vegas is there's two groups that want the Hoover Dam. There is the New California Republic, which is a group that I had mentioned Shady Sands earlier. They came out of a vault. They formed Shady Sands. It grew from there, encompassed multiple states, became the New California Republic.
Shady Sands created NCR?
Yeah.
Oh.
Shady Sands is the NCR capital.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep. So they're extending out east as their, influence grows. Moving west is a group that has conquered a bunch of tribes, formed by a historian who studied the Roman Empire, and they have named themselves Caesar's Legion.
Caesar's Legion. Yep.
And they're sort of a brutal group that wants to basically... Caesar thinks if he can remove everybody's identity and make them all part of this group, then he can undo like the constant fighting and war that's tearing the wasteland apart.
But he's also causing a bunch of war.
Right.
Yeah. I'll stop the wars by making war.
Birth is always painful.
Yep.
Anyway, both groups want the Hoover Dam because of the resources that it can provide. Meanwhile, on the Strip, there's a 200-year-old Elon Musk named Robert House.
Yep.
Who is a technological genius. He founded the in-game company Robco, which is a robotics company. He basically designed a system that would keep Vegas safe from the nuclear war. It mostly worked. He was missing one element. The platinum chip the courier was carrying.
Oh! Wait.
Yeah.
No, wait, I'm confused now.
I know you are.
You look, I know you are. Wait. So, right, he
wasn't
designed...
delivering it to stop the bombs, but
I was about to say that was way before that.
Benny wants the chip so that he can take over the Strip.
Benny wants the chip so he can take over the Strip.
Because the chip is actually not a poker chip. It is a computer chip that runs all of the defenses of New Vegas.
So wait, how did House not have the chip?
It was never delivered in time. He had to use an inferior one. And that's why he was only able to save the part of the Strip he did and not the entirety of Las Vegas.
It just wasn't delivered in time. How did it survive? It's a question we'll never have the answer to.
Rob Kotek's good, man. Those robots are all over the wasteland.
They're fucking everywhere. Okay, all right, continue. So House is, yeah. Genius House.
So you've got these different groups, and you're able to influence who takes over based on your actions. Or if you decide that none of these groups need to lead, you can actually take over and create a free Vegas.
What?
As an outcome.
That I actually didn't know. thought you had to choose NCR or Caesar's Legion.
No, you can choose House, NCR, Caesar's Legion, or Independent Vegas.
Interesting.
Um,
What happens if you do that? The independent one.
It's widely considered the worst ending.
It seems like it. I mean, it still feels like NCR and Caesar would still just keep fighting.
Well, you basically take over. You do what Benny was going to do and take over Vegas's defenses. And you sort of force everybody else out.
Oh, you're like, move the fuck back or I'll hit you with my missiles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But yeah, you find out that there's another chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel that was sent out there too. They're fighting with the NCR. And it's all over another power station that you can come to.
I feel like I never found the Brotherhood when I was playing New Vegas.
Sounds like you didn't find a lot of things when you were playing New Vegas.
Dude, I guess I didn't play New Vegas. I played New Vegas, but I guess I didn't. I mean, you're right. New Vegas did feel like there was a lot of stuff you could find that wasn't told to you.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
So this other group was led by an elder named Elijah, who was obsessed beyond the point of normal Brotherhood people with technology. Blinded him to the threat of the NCR. The NCR wound up almost wiping out the entire chapter. So they are in bunkers like in the desert.
Okay.
But that spins off into a lot of the stuff going on with the DLC, and New Vegas has 4 of the best DLCs that Fallout has to offer. So, but that's a long story that's going to get us more off track. So let's go to
Fallout 4. Tell us, Joey, about Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is less of a role-playing game than the other Fallouts and more of an adventure survival game. You get basically a named protagonist, like you can play around with it a little bit, but you're either Nate or Nora. And you're searching for your son, Sean, who was kidnapped out of the vault that you were in. How are you still alive? Because you were cryogenically frozen and have been in the vault for 200 years.
Yup.
It's widely considered a rehatch of Fallout 3's story.
But backwards. Right.
It looks beautiful, built on a new engine, did a lot of new stuff with it.
Oh, yeah, it looks phenomenal. Fallout 4, yeah, okay, continue.
You come out of the vault into this Boston wasteland. It's completely different than when you went in, because you get to see it pre-war.
Right, yeah, yep.
And you start looking for your son. You come across a group called the Minutemen, or at least what's left of them. And they are the first group you encounter. They're basically like the group that was trying to like peacekeep and keep the Commonwealth together. There was a betrayal within their ranks. It caused most of them to get killed off. And there's like this one guy left and the people he's trying to protect. And
Preston Garvey.
a huge part of Fallout 4 was the settlement building. And part of the settlement building was rebuilding the Minutemen. There's also the Institute, which is basically the co-antagonists of Fallout 4. The Minutemen, the Institute, thank you, are run by a man named Father. They are ultra high tech. So if the Enclave represented like the best minds and military that had been seen by the Wasteland, the Enclave would laugh at them.
Okay.
Or the Institute would laugh at the Enclave. There's like no comparison to what they're doing.
Okay.
They've basically been able to create synthetic people called synths that are a huge part of the game. And they're, anytime you run it, it's very Blade Runner. So like you don't really know who's a synth and who's not. There is a group called the Railroad, who believes that the Institute enslaving these synths that they make is wrong. So they're trying to basically set as many of them free as they can, but they don't care about anything else in the Commonwealth. Like their whole thing is like,
we just want to make this synth freedom. Well, we're dying over here. We don't care. Yeah. Synths need freedom.
So, and then the last group is the Brotherhood of Steel. Under new management.
Which is Maximus.
Maxon, Arthur Maxon, son of three great grandsons.
Sure.
Away from Arthur Maxon, who originally founded the Brotherhood of Steel on the West Coast.
The original founder of the Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Or Roger Maxon. Yeah.
Okay.
Roger Maxon was the founder in Fallout 1.
Okay.
And then Maxon in Fallout 4 is like his great grandson.
Okay. And they made it all the way to Boston.
Mm-hmm. He needed to go with lions to be seasoned.
He was supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
but he didn't make it all the way.
Oh, he
out.
did.
Did he make it all the way to Lions?
Yeah,
That's not in any of the games.
it is. He's in Fallout 3.
Maxon is in Fallout 3?
Yeah, he's a wee little lad with a crush on Sarah Lyons.
Oh! Wow. Okay, continue.
And then he kills her to take over.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Keep going.
So eventually you find out that this guy father, as you hunt down your son, you follow the trail, you find out that this dude father is actually your son, and it's been like 60 years since he was taken from the vault.
I definitely did not know that. I have not beaten Fallout yet, so that was just a big reveal to me. I did not know that.
Yeah.
What?
And he's dying, so he wants you to take over the Institute.
What? I'm so confused. So then why did Kellogg kidnap him? What was the point of that? That just got him out of the vault.
Yeah, well, the
But what
Institute
happened-
wanted pure strain DNA, and
Wait, the Institute was there before Sean was there?
oh yeah, the Institute's much like the Enclave, established well before the apocalypse.
So Sean didn't create the Institute. He just ran the Institute
He just took it over, yeah.
for 60 years.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? So they take him because they want clear DNA, and they're
Yeah.
like, the baby, that's the one.
And then, he came from a vault, so he's a Fallout protagonist.
Sure.
So he just takes over the Institute.
He's like, yeah, I'm a badass. Shut the fuck up. Give me this place. It's mine. Don't you know I come from pre-war? Okay. You know what? You know what's really funny? You know what vault dwellers remind me of? Like when it comes to something like that, like Sean or
Yeah.
Nate, is Idiocracy. They come from a world where people are much smarter.
They're like ladling soup out of a toilet. Like, hey, stranger.
Oh,
Just
shit.
like-
What the fuck? Oh, you have pots and pans? What are those?
Hitting each other with like clubs. You've got like a laser rifle.
Boom. Anyway, so Sean takes over the Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right, continue. What else is happening in Fallout 4?
That's pretty much it.
Well, that's the main quest. Is you're trying to find your son. You find your son, Sean, who is the father.
Mhm.
Weird quinky dink there. He is the father who runs the Institute.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to the game. Because you have like 5 different outcomes, right?
Right. It's really up to you to choose which of those factions you want to be intro. Much like New Vegas.
Do you not find out that Sean is the father if you don't continue Institute stuff? Or will you find out Sean is the father no matter what?
I'm pretty sure you're at least forced to do that quest. Like,
Okay.
that's one of the ones Bethesda's like, no, you don't get a choice. You're
You
getting
need
teleported.
a resolution to this.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
It would be cooler if you never knew.
It'd be wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk us through what happens for each of the decisions.
And
what are the decisions?
so you can choose Brotherhood. Brotherhood genocides all replicants and Institute.
Okay, damn.
You can choose Institute. Institute continues their ways. They sow discord on the surface because the Institute's all built underground. So they sow discord on the surface. They continue their experiments. It's really ambiguous because it's left up to like, oh, you're the player, so it could go any way that you said. But basically it ends with like you fuck over the other 3 factions and
Everything stays the same.
yeah. Railroad, you blow up the Institute. so that and you set free all of the synths that are inside before you blow it up. So all the synths can live free now. And then Minutemen, you can make peace. Like Railroad's easy to make peace with. Brotherhood's harder, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. And then you can choose just to nuke the Institute.
Nice.
It's for the good of the Commonwealth.
Sure. What happens to your son?
Your son's a monster. He's been sending super mutants up and kidnapping people and replacing them with synths. And
oh,
yeah,
Sean.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that, bud. Sorry you didn't grow up with me, but damn, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, every problem in the Commonwealth has been caused by the Institute, and the Institute's like, yeah, but we're the best solution for the Commonwealth.
Isn't there one more option? Isn't there like not a do nothing option, but isn't there
There's probably a kill 'em all option.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a neutral ending option, but I guess I don't remember. I don't know what it is.
It would be Minutemen, because I think with the Minutemen you can get most of the other factions on your side except for the Institute.
Even though your son runs it, he won't join you.
Well, yeah, because he's going to die anyway. So
he's a monster.
He needs you to run it, and you're not willing. So
no. War time.
War never changes.
Damn it! That's what he says to his son. War never changes. Kills his own son. It's fucked up.
That's the mainline Fallouts.
Yeah.
And there's Tactics, there's Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, and there's Fallout 76.
And Shelter.
Let us not forget Shelter.
Yeah.
The game said to have made Bethesda distributors angry because it did so well.
Dude, I remember when Fallout Shelter first came out, and it was like, oh my god, I gotta play Fallout Shelter! I have to keep my vault while there's a law! Like, it was wild. And it's even crazier now, because, like, you can go, like, fucking on quests and adventures and shit now. Like, you fucking level people up, and you go out on missions and shit. It's wild. But yeah, so Fallout Shelter, Fallout Tactics,
Brotherhood of Steel. Widely and pretty unanimously considered the worst Fallout game.
I don't even know about it. And what else is there?
76.
76. Which 76? That seems like maybe the last one you could say a little tidbit about.
76 is the earliest vault to open. You basically play
It's set before the other Fallouts or no?
76 is the earliest in the timeline.
Which is interesting. It's the newest one made, but it is set the earliest technically in timeline.
Yeah.
Before even Fallout 1.
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I'd have to double check. May put it on the screen if I'm wrong, but pretty sure chronologically 76 is the earliest one. You're basically one of the first vaults to open, and you're tasked with rebuilding. Come out of the vault, find out that everything's fucked. Mm-hmm. Despite being a beautiful green wasteland.
Yeah, 76 is beautiful.
Basically, groups that were on the surface trying to fix things only made things worse through their actions. At launch, there was literally no one living on the map.
Yeah, that was a really weird thing to do for that game.
Everybody had been turned into Scorched, which are...
they're like ghouls.
It's like a virus. Yeah, they're like ghouls, but not.
Yeah. They can carry guns.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
They're bad shots, at least.
Yeah.
There's these dragon things called Scorch Beasts that fly around and infect. And as it's grown out, though, you've seen all the faction. I think Enclave, Brotherhood are both there now. Yep. Raiders, Settlers, everything sort of.
It really feels like it's gotten the No Man's Sky treatment, where it was just kind of put out and then has has just been kind of taken care of since launch, and just stuff keeps getting added. But I think the fun part about it is each time they add something, they're like, oh no, it's the next part of the story. So like each time something got added, it was as if the timeline was moving forward but you couldn't progress it. Like they were moving it forward as they added stuff.
Yeah.
So like if you were to look at all the DLC backwards, it's you came out of the vault, found everything was shit. Thought there was no one. Now, look at that. There's people. You found some. That was like the 1st thing added was NPCs.
Yeah, it was
because everybody was like,
the Wastelanders expansion.
yeah, everyone was like, why the fuck is there no one out here?
Yeah.
So then NPCs got added, and then
Like you look around, you think about the other Fallouts you've played. You look around, and then you look at the setting of 76, and you're like, why aren't people coming here?
yeah, like what the fuck? So yeah, then they added people, and then so on and so forth. And as things get added, the like story timeline is pushed forward, which is kind of cool. But at launch, 76, garbage, absolute shit.
And Bethesda handled it badly too. Like they made all these promises and stuff that they were going to give out, and they didn't. And
yeah, it got bad.
they promised no microtransactions, added them almost instantly.
And then there's even a subscription now. Like, wow. But anyway, as the game has gotten further, like I had said, it has the No Man's Sky treatment where the game is actually, wow, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot to do now.
Yeah. Our Older and Dumber way of life. Isn't it grand? Jokes, commentary, and D&D. Seems perfect. But what if it's not? Friends, our future may not be as secure as you think. Where will you be when the internet gives O&D the banhammer? You can secure your family's viewing future by supporting Older and Dumber on Patreon for as low as $5 a month. That's right, David. Act now, and your family can see episodes a week early before they ever go public. In Sabrina, Patreon will have all the behind-the-scenes content you could ever want. Support Older and Dumber on Patreon to secure your family's viewing future today. Sign up now and prepare for the future. Which is cool. So we talked about Fallout and all the Fallout stuff. Now we should talk about us.
Yeah.
And our experiences and our feelings about Fallout. First question, which Joey brought, not brought or whatever. First question is our first experiences with Fallout. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I mean, I've told my story on the podcast before. My art teacher in high school had Fallout, I'm pretty sure it was Fallout 1, on his PC in his office. And he would let us play games on the PC. So that was the first experience I had with Fallout, was playing it in my art teacher's office. But my first real playthrough that I was invested in would have been Fallout 3. And man, did I get invested to the point where I burned out a 360 and had to buy a new one.
Holy moly. Yeah, that's wild. For me, my first experience, I've said that Fallout 3 was my first experience of Fallout. But this is like the story. So I was in North Carolina, living with my dad. I had a 360. I was a big Xbox person.
Your dad was like, I got you the new Call of Duty. And he gave you Fallout 3.
No. So growing up, I was a huge Xbox person. Hated PlayStation. I was like, fuck you, PlayStation guys. You're so dumb. Sony's stupid. And then I learned the truth later on that I was like, oh, these are the same shit. You just want certain exclusives.
Yeah.
They're both good. Anyway, so 360 is what I had.
These are the same thing.
Yeah. So I had a 360. And I, back in the Dizzy, when things were like this, is I used to get Game Informer every single month. Because I was a big GameStop Pro Rewards member back in the day when it was good. But anyway, I get a Game Informer every single month. I take it, I read it, and I go, oh, I want this, I want that. I was reading my Game Informer. There's a big ad in there. Big full bleed page ad about Mass Effect. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. It's space, it's sci-fi. That girl's got boobies and look at that butt. I want this game and it's M-rated. I was telling my dad, I was telling stepmom at the time that I wanted this game. And I got the kibosh real fast as she went, no, that game is too sexual. Look, it's M-rated because it has sex in it. And I was like, what? So I wasn't allowed to have that game. Wasn't allowed to have.
First town you come to in Fallout, you can buy a prostitute.
I wasn't allowed to have Mass Effect because it was too sexual. So go to GameStop to go get a new game. I'm allowed to get an M-rated game, but it had to be approved, whatever. But I went with my dad, so stepmom wasn't there. So I'm going through and I find Mass Effect. I'm like, yeah, and he goes, no, if you get that, she's gonna be mad. Blah blah blah. And I was like, fine, whatever, fuck her. So I put the game back, and I'm like looking through stuff. And of course, as a kid, you looking at the game section, and you're just there forever,
And then you
just
see that
looking at shit.
T-54 helmet.
I saw that green box, that green background, saw that helmet, and I was like, what? And I was like, Game of the Year edition. Like, what's
you got
this?
all the DLCs too.
I'm like, what's this? I'm like, Dad, I want this. And he goes, what is this? It's called Fallout 3, Game of the Year edition. It's goaty.
It's goated, Dad.
And he's like, what's it about? I'm like, I don't know, but it's got guns. And look at this guy. He's cool. He's like, all right, we can get it. And I was like, all right, thank you.
Speaking of Game Informer, I remember seeing the blurb in Game Informer for Fallout 3 and reading it and being like, oh, you like your weapons degrade and you have to like
whoa, my
repair
stuff breaks.
This is
Whoa,
cool.
it's so in depth. Dude, the funny part to me of this is that I went in being like, I want Mass Effect. That's the ad I saw. I want that game. And then didn't get it. I got Fallout instead. So yeah, that's my first experience. Your first experience. Your next question was which is our favorite Fallout?
Yep.
I think we both have said it before, but if we have like more reasonings,
guys, put it in the comments right now if you know which one's our favorites.
right now. Okay. And tell us what your favorite is. My favorite is Fallout 3.
Yep.
And yours is?
New Vegas.
Yeah. The reason why Fallout 3 is my favorite, and again, everyone has their opinion on which Fallout is the best, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, it's opinion, and blah, blah, blah. So the reason why I like Fallout 3, and I will say Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition specifically, it was my first experience with the Fallout franchise. So it has a sort of spot in my heart, but the coolest thing for me for Fallout 3 was the first time you make it to the capital Wasteland and you find the Brotherhood of Steel. And you just see these fucking dudes in big ass fucking cool armor. And they're like, over here, citizen. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool. They're just big and bulky. And I'm like, oh my God, I want that armor. I want to be those guys. They're super cool. Like, that's the first thing. And that sort of hooked me. I was just like, in it. I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. So I really like that. But my thing is that I don't like Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition I don't like it for its mechanics. I don't like it for its story elements, and I don't love it for its gameplay. I literally only like Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition the most because of the nostalgia. It's the only reason why it's my favorite one. There's no thing in it that I'm like, this makes it the greatest Fallout.
Maybe Liberty Prime.
All right, we can go with Liberty Prime as a choice,
or Moira Brown.
All right, those two. That's it. But that's why Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition is my favorite Fallout. Why is New Vegas your favorite?
I just love the setting for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of this sort of jewel in the middle of the wasteland that you can see. Like, the game is so well designed. Like, you wake up, you do your little tutorial, and then you look off at the horizon at night, and there's just this fucking beam of light coming up that's Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, oh, man, I can just go. It's right down the road. You can't just go, though.
It's far.
Like, they make you think you can go, and then you walk down the road and Deathclaws get you. And you're like, well, I'll go around this way. Cazadors get you. I'll go around this way. Super mutants get you. I guess I'll go the long way around. And as you go the long way around, you start meeting the factions, like, very naturally. Like, you start to run into the NCR. You start to run into the Legion. You run into different gangs that are out in the desert, and the different groups of survivors and towns. And you run into companions. And then when you run into those companions, you've met the groups that they're talking about because you've had to go the long way around. And then it had survival mode. So you had to, like, you had to find food and water. Your ammo had weight. You could reload ammo. There was so many different guns, and the guns could be like scrapped down to make repair kits for other guns. And there was so much stuff too to find in New Vegas that wasn't just like out there. Like there's stuff that if you're just doing the main story, you never find it. But if you take the time to look around,
that's Obsidian style.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And like, they should make another Fallout.
yeah,
But yeah.
in the creation engine, hell yeah.
Yeah. I definitely agree that I think New Vegas, or not agree, I don't even know if you said this, but I feel that New Vegas had the best storytelling.
Oh yeah, because it's not like, even with Caesar being like, okay, we're fascist Roman cosplayers, and the NCR, the NCR being like, we're weighed down by bureaucracy and can't even like support our troops, and House being like, I don't give a fuck, I just want to make money and rule my city. They all present it with an argument where you're like, damn, is this the right person to choose?
Yeah. They make you think about each one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they force you to like interact with them. It's not like always a fight. Somebody will be like, hey, this guy wants to meet with you. You know, instead of, oh, I came in here and I've been working with this faction, so this faction doesn't like me now.
That's the best villain sometimes, is the villain that you can be like, shit, he might be right.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could do that more well. I feel like I don't do that well enough.
It's not easy to do, I don't think.
No. But yeah. So that's your favorite, and that's why.
Yep.
Nice.
Also, the DLCs are fucking...
Yeah, you would say... Yeah. I really like Anchorage. That's
so,
like, it's a good one. It's not the best one, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
Because you go somewhere else.
Right.
You
and
know?
you get to see a different part of the world. It's basically just a shooter, though.
Yeah.
That was my problem with all of Fallout 3's DLCs, is they were basically just rail shooters. Like, you ran through, you did a little Call of Duty, and then you were done.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Oh man, we're hitting the end here.
All right, we gotta speed run these.
Yeah, let's speed run our favorite characters.
Okay, go.
My favorite characters, or NPCs, whatever you want to call them. Three Dog.
Three Dog is... Yeah.
Three Dog's probably like my favorite NPC. I never actually went and met him. I only listened to him on my radio. Never went and
So
met him.
you never did the GNR quest?
Never went and did that stuff. Just only listened to him because he's my boy, and he's like, Three Dog is all you need. It's all I needed.
You get longer range on his radio station if you do his quest.
Oh, really? Damn. That's all right. Victor. Victor is one of my favorite
Hey,
NPCs.
partner.
Howdy, partner. That's the robot you wake up to in New Vegas.
Yep.
I really like Codsworth from Fallout 4. I really like Codsworth. He's just sort of funny, and like, he doesn't mean to be, and like, he just says the most absolute wild shit.
His interaction when you first meet him coming out of the vault is very fun.
Oh yeah.
He's just like,
whoa,
I can't keep anything clean.
And then this one, I couldn't remember if this is actually who I'm talking about, but I think Sharon.
Rosa. Oh, the
from
ghoul.
the ghoul
Yeah.
companion in Fallout 3. I think this is who I'm talking about. Yeah. If he was the ghoul that was turned when his vault door didn't seal all the way. Is that not who? Harold.
No, Harold is not. Harold got FEV mutated.
Then it's gotta be.
It's gotta be Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that ghoul is probably one of my other top favorite NPCs. I just like that story a lot. Very, very cool. Plus, the other thing that Sharon does is when you're in I remember what the place is called. Now I can't remember what it's called. Bombtown.
Megaton.
Megaton. You do the quest. You either buy off his contract or go kill that person. Come back and you're like, I want the contract. You're like, Sharon, you're with me now. And he's like, all right, just got to talk to my old employer for a minute. Goes in there and they're just like, boom, boom. You're dead now because you made me do a bunch of dumb shit. Anyway.
So let's see. Fallout 3, Moira.
Okay. Makes sense.
Shopkeeper at Craterside Supplies. She's just a fun, quirky character. I enjoy her a lot. Harold. But
That's
Harold,
Fallout 4, right?
Harold, you can follow from Fallout 1 all the way to 3. He's the tree, bruh.
Wait, I thought Harold is. Wait, who's the mayor in Fallout 4? The ghoul mayor.
Hancock.
Hancock's
fun.
Harold's the tree?
Harold's the tree.
He's in Fallout 1 all the way to 3?
Yeah, he gets dropped into some FEV and his little plant friend grows into his head. And by the time you meet him in 3, he's a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he's sort of there across the first 3 games, and it's a cool bridge between the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout New Vegas, Rose of Sharon Cassidy. You meet her right after her caravan gets wiped out. She's got nothing. All she wants to do is drink and fuck and get revenge.
Okay.
She's just a little fiery redhead pistol.
Little fire pistol.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like Raul's cool. He's voiced by Danny Trejo.
Where's Rahul?
You find him in a shack up near where you meet the boomers in New Vegas.
Dude, there's so much New Vegas I didn't find.
Yeah, he's just an old ghoul mechanic, voiced by Danny Trejo.
That's fucking wild. All right.
4, I love Kate. Piper's great.
Okay.
Codsworth is, like I said, I love that first interaction with Codsworth where he's just like having
I
an
can't keep
existential
anything clean.
crisis.
Yeah, that's good.
I actually really liked most of the companions in 4.
Yeah.
Because Hancock's he's a lot of fun too. Dance was okay.
You know what I really liked about Fallout 3 for companion wise? You couldn't get certain companions unless you were a Karma.
Yeah.
You couldn't get Jericho unless you were bad, or you couldn't get Fox bad, the super mutant, unless you were good.
Yeah.
You know, like that was kind of cool. But like you said, you could easily just flop it.
But there's one companion that tops them all.
Dog meat.
Yeah.
I knew it. You get a dog companion.
Every one
of them.
Yep.
Every one of them. Because dog is man's best friend.
Yep.
Or woman. Whatever works for you.
Whatever you're playing.
Yeah. All right. So next was the ideal Fallout 5, correct?
Yes. Let's
we might be able to span through these pretty quick.
Yeah.
This one might be our longest. Oh shit! I forgot about our last one. We'll be okay.
Yeah, that last one will be quick.
We'll see. We did do a bunch of bullshit in the beginning, so hopefully, all right. Anyway, what is our ideal Fallout 5? Do you want to try to say everything? I think, or should we go?
Well, I'll go, and then you.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
So my ideal Fallout 5. There's a piece of Americana that Fallout hasn't tapped yet, that I think has great potential for a story, and that is a Fallout set on the Mississippi River.
Mississippi River is not what I thought you were going to say.
Hitting a few of the different states there, with Louisiana being the main city.
Okay.
I would have it. You'd start off as like a ferryman.
Okay.
And you just get attacked by some random ass river raiders. Your boat gets blown up. You get pulled out of the river by a settlement, and that's where you build your character. It leaves your entire background open. You can do whatever you want, role play it however you want. And then there would be a bunch of different factions that we haven't seen. I think I would have it set early in the timeline, so maybe Lion's Brotherhood just went through, and a few of the Brotherhood that were with him got left behind. Maybe somebody that got injured, and that's where you can learn like power armor stuff.
What if you started your own? What if one of the things you could start your own Brotherhood faction?
Sure,
that'd be wild.
I think the major faction that I would want is Followers of the Apocalypse. I feel like they're sort of underutilized, and maybe like having them have an established foothold along the river and one of the settlements, and sort of be like offering aid and trying to build out, and sort of take like a Minuteman role where they're trying to establish safe settlements and get people medicine and education and do this stuff. But there's like a group of river raiders. Like the first group that hit you is like a major group that basically controls the river.
Okay.
And they're just raiders, and they go up and down in like boats and just fuck up the settlements that are along the shores and stop trade. And I
Yeah,
think I'd
okay.
like another group that's like maybe like an NCR sort of like Mississippi Free State sort of thing that's like run out of New Orleans.
Okay.
And they're like sort of clashing heads with these other groups.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think no super mutants or
None.
right, none.
Wow.
Or
Okay.
maybe like you see a couple that have traveled like from the West Coast and they're like West Coast super mutants or something.
You don't want any super mutants.
No Brotherhood except for maybe like a couple of people that got left behind from Lions Group. No Enclave. I want to see different factions explored, and I want to see a large area that's got, you know, boat transport's a major thing. Maybe you can build up like your own little
Build a
motor
boat
boat that you can use to travel
That's
up and
cool.
down the river.
That's cool.
I think there's a lot of opportunity too to play with like the bayou and have like weird culty voodoo
Yeah.
Cthulhu shit like Bethesda loves
Yeah.
to do.
That's cool.
And definitely bring back like I think the one thing that Fallout 4 got right over everything else was its power armor. So, you know, I don't want power armor everywhere. I want kind of like New Vegas where it's much more rare.
You had to find it.
You have to work for it,
Yeah.
build it up. I think that's why if you have like a Brotherhood guy who's like teaching you power armor,
Like, oh, I'll teach you how to do
yeah,
this.
and you can buy like upgrades and stuff from him. Maybe you get a suit that's like watertight so you can go under the water.
Oh, underwater adventure.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that would be my ideal Fallout 5.
Okay. I didn't go as deep into story like that. I went into like more mechanics. So, okay, this is what I've got. I don't want to start in a vault. That was my first thing. I don't want to start in a vault.
Yeah, I think they need to get away from the same sort
Like
of-
vault dwellers are cool. They should make an evil in
That's
the
why
one
I
you were
said,
talking
yeah.
about. There should be an evil like vault faction.
Yeah.
That would be
Maybe
cool.
that's where the River Raiders started from. And that's
Oh,
how
is
they
there,
have, like,
yeah.
the technology to build the boats.
That's why they're
and-
so dangerous, is because they were
Yeah.
vault dwellers. Look at those. Anyway, I don't want to start in a vault. I really want more in-game cinematics. Not like I get that there's not cutscenes, and there never has been.
I mean,
well,
you can
I
put them
guess-
in. You have like the Brotherhood, Predwin coming in and Fallout 4 and
Yes.
stuff like that.
I want more of that. And if not that, I want like this is what's happening over here, and then as a cutscene.
Mhm.
I like cutscenes. I guess that's more of a favorable thing. But I did really like the whole like you watch the Perwin come in and like that kind of stuff. So I would like more of that. I want a really compelling story that is actually affected by the amount of side quests you do. So I don't want there to just be this is the main story. Oh, but I know about this because they did all this side quests. Why is my character acting like I don't know what that is?
Yeah, that's always nice where like if you take an action, you see the results of it later.
Yeah, like
And
I
that was
want
one
it-
of the cool things in New Vegas. Like even if it wasn't exactly, there was enough script there where it would be like, oh hey, it's you.
Yeah. I want the main quest. You can just go straight through it and that's it. But if you decide to go out and explore the world, it messes with the main quest.
Mhm.
I want that. But anyway, so there's that. Places that I thought would be fun. I think New York City
Yeah,
could be kind of fun.
we'll probably get New York.
New York City would be
That'll
cool. All the
create their
different
trifecta of
capital.
DC, New York, Boston.
So New York City, I think would be really fun. You get to go. I mean, there's just the high sky rises and like the tunnels and the subways. Like it would just be cool. I think, and like I don't know, I just like it. I like it. Plus, if you do like Manhattan and stuff, you get still more water thing you were talking about. The bridges. Anyway, I might be able to do like a big gangster mobster thing. Anyway, my other one, Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I think Fallout Florida could be cool.
Fallout Florida could be pretty darn cool. Get hover boats going around in the glades. Anyway, next was I think Texas. Texas could be fun. It's just a big fucking open thing, and you could do almost anything because it's also bordering, South America. So it's like
Mexico, yeah,
Yeah.
but it also borders New Orleans.
it does. So those are the places. I
Maybe
think would
we
be
can
fun.
both get our Fallout.
Yeah. So I thought those three places could be cool. I don't want the new perk card system. I hate it. I don't like the new Fallout 76 skill special tree with the cards. I don't like it.
I think you need to explore it more. As I've gotten used to it, I'm like, oh, okay, I get this.
When you're level 20, you have to do it. You've got to do it 20 times now. I've got to do it 10 times, and I have like nothing. Everything's a 1.
Because you can level up the individual cards. I don't like the fact that like it's a pack and it's random.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're gonna do like a card system, you have to be able to select what you want.
Yeah.
Sort of like how they did 4, but give the ability to take each and like level it up. And
yeah. So I don't love the new card system, but I want a new system. I want a new special system. I don't know what it looks like, but that's what I want. And now this is in a big emphasis on I want this. There's a me. There's a hunter preference in a video.
he's gonna
game
say
thing.
voice protagonist.
No, that is cool, but no, I do like that. No, I would love a sort of sim in the game.
I was gonna say too. Settlements back in mind, but have sim settlements.
Yes,
so they build on their own.
Yes, or you can send people out on like quests and you level them up and make them stronger, maybe bring them with you. Like being able to have more of that simulation in the game, I like that stuff. That's my favorite. Not a lot of people like that stuff.
I like
a way to
settlements,
build a city.
But I don't want to build the entire wasteland like you had to do in 4.
Yeah, I want to build one big place.
Yeah, or if I'm building a couple, let the settlers that are there build it and then ask me for stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a better simulation system inside the game.
Yeah. We did this episode because the Fallout show comes out this weekend.
It came out yesterday. So the Fallout TV show, our hopes, dreams, and fears for the show. I have a little blurb written. You probably have more than I do, maybe.
No, mine are going to be fast.
Go.
Okay. I don't want them to break canon lore more than they have to. I imagine that there'll be a few things that they do because it works for TV, but I don't want them to, like, I'm already upset that they're calling it LA and not the Boneyard.
I guess my question is, are they calling it LA for now?
Well, yeah, because we haven't seen it. Like, it could change when we see the show.
Like, she knows it as LA.
Right.
And we know it as LA.
Right.
And the normies that don't know what Fallout is knows it as LA. Yeah. But then when we get into it, yeah. Okay.
I don't want to see Enclave in the first season. I don't want to see Super Mutants in the first season. I don't want to see a Deathclaw in the first season.
Oh, come on. If you had to pick one, you wouldn't choose Deathclaw?
No, we're going to get the Yagwai. That should be the big scary thing that we see. And then there's a huge axolotl monster that we're going to see.
All right, I guess that's fine.
Because here's the thing, like,
what do you want the big bad to be?
The big bad is
the Wasteland.
It's involved with the vault. Like, Lucy's got her own story.
Oh, yeah, there's a thing going on.
The Ghoul's got his own story. Maxon's got his own story.
Okay.
I don't want to see the NCR get bitch slapped by the Brotherhood, because the NCR in canon has beat the Brotherhood. Now, I understand the NCR from New Vegas was not in good shape. They were facing down a famine. So that makes sense as long as they address that. I don't want it just to be like, oh, we have power armor, so we're going to beat you. Because the NCR already beat the Brotherhood.
I will say in the trailers, man, they're making the Brotherhood look fucking jacked.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they've always had
it's fine.
Yeah, like they're fucking in power armor. I mean,
right. And the fact that the person in power armor is getting bitch slapped by the Yagwai made my heart happy.
That shows you be like, oh shit, okay, even though they got power armor on, there's scary shit out there.
Yeah.
They aren't the all be badasses.
Yeah, those are my concerns, and that the dog has not been called dog meat yet. But I'm pretty sure after the Ghoul adopts him, he'll probably start calling him dog meat. So
probably. Has the dog always been called dog meat?
Yeah, in everyone.
I thought they weren't in one of them, but yeah, I guess they've all been dog meat, huh?
Well, he was Rex in New Vegas.
Aha!
That was a different dog. That was a cyber dog.
A different dog? They're all different dogs, Joey.
No, all the dog meats are descended from the first dog meat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They just happen to go all the way across the United States?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a conspiracy.
Oh, I don't want any fucking...
Born from the Enclave.
I don't want fucking any replicant shit either.
I don't want Institute. I think Institute would be dumb for this show.
Yeah.
I think I disagree a little bit on super mutants. Not that I want a bunch of super mutants, but I want FEV to be mentioned or involved somehow.
Well, I think that's what we're seeing with the axolotl thing. It's going to be FEV related.
But you're right. I don't want any of the super huge villains. Like, they could be there maybe, but I don't want them to be the fucking main focus in the first season.
You can hint at it, but I don't.
Yeah,
there's already going to be enough going on with 3 different storylines.
I want season 2 and further to be the biggest. All right, let me read what let me read my little blurb.
Okay.
Read my little blurb. I really want video game references throughout the whole thing, but I want it super subtle. Like, I'm talking, you would have no fucking clue that was a reference to the video game.
I'd much
Unless
prefer
you
it to
knew.
be like Easter eggs you pick out of the background.
Yes, I want like that. Or just anything.
Or they reference an obscure piece of lore or...
Yeah. Okay. I really want them to talk about how there's vaults that are bad. I hope that comes up.
I think there's gonna...
We don't know what's going on.
We've seen 3 vaults in the trailer. So there's 33. That's Lucy's vault. We've seen 34 on vault suits, and we've seen 4, which is the one the Ghoul is doing the promo for.
I did not pick up on the 34. Anyway, okay. Let me go back to it. I fear that normies are going to hate on it just to hate on it, and it's going to ruin it for everybody.
Oh yeah,
So I'm scared of that.
Out.
I mean, yeah, but I'm particularly scared about it because it's Fallout and it's a Wasteland apocalypse, and it's like we just had The Last of Us come
This
out.
is not like The Last of Us. This is trying to be funny. I don't understand.
Yeah, so I'm a little scared for that, and I don't want this to get canned in the first season. My dream is that it's as good as Game of Thrones, but in the drama aspect. Like, Game of Thrones was like, holy fucking shit, I gotta keep seeing the next thing. This is insane. Like, how is this gonna connect later on? How is it, you know what I mean? Like, that's the success I want out of this show. That's the dream. But the end a lot better. I hope it makes me cry. I hope it makes me jump. And I hope it makes me genuinely happy.
I'll also say we've only seen 1 ghoul so far. I hope there's some ferals.
Have we really only seen 1 ghoul?
The
It's just
ghoul.
been... That's it?
Yeah.
Huh. I'm sure we'll see more. We have to.
Well, I mean...
But I'm excited to see ghouls that he fights. He's like, come on, pal.
Well, yeah, because canonically ghouls won't go after other ghouls.
Right.
Canonically, like, ghoul bigotry was a bigger thing on the West Coast, so maybe they've been sort of hunted down and wiped out.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Because in the East Coast, there's ghouls, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, major ghoul towns, but, like, one of the
What was that
quests
tower
in
place
Fallout
called?
2 is, like, kill them.
Yeah. Ooh. What was that tower in, I think it's in 3, where it's like not an oasis, but it's a place for ghouls. You're not allowed in unless you're a ghoul.
Necropolis?
Maybe. You go
The
in, there's
museum,
like yeah, there's like a pool and like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. So that's our hopes, dreams, and fears, huh?
Yep.
We will have watched it by now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys have watched it by now. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if they dropped the ball or didn't, or...
Let past us know what happened with the Fallout series, so that future selves can read it.
My, how the world has changed. Holotapes like these, though, are what preserving stories are all about. Thanks for letting me play it, Wanderer. I'm sure you've got other places to be, but before you go, let me leave you with this. The Wasteland is a harsh world, but if you look close enough, you'll find the stories that make this place beautiful. In fact, the very next holotape in this OlderNDumber series would be just that. However, that's a tale for another time.
Wah, wah.